So once we've let go of the preconceived ideas, we can actually experience the freedom.
Yeah.
And I also really like what you said, that freedom is flow. I really see that. Freedom is flow and flow is freedom. So being in that flow, you're actually free flowing. You're like being like the leaf in the wind. You can like flow and you don't know where your destination is until you reach it. And you can just surrender in that process.
Beautiful soul, welcome to this journey with me, the journey of love, the journey of authenticity, the journey of depth and connection. Welcome and join me on this journey of Sayanity.
Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to my very first podcast with a guest, special one, Tiya We, this beautiful being of light, my sister, and a divine being, very inspiring human. So grateful that she's the number one here. And I thought it's a beautiful way to start with an inquiry, because inquiry is a question that goes deep into our soul, and there can be some very important message. Yeah. So my question for Tiya, and actually I will present her a little bit. She's a beautiful sister, but also very creative being. She has created her own brand, right? Here in Bali, Tiyara Soul Wear. Tiyara Soul Wear. This is from her. And she's into creating a beautiful world. She's a new earth warrior and a beautiful conscious mother. So she has a lot of light to share. And the question we have for her today is, what true freedom means to you?
Thank you, Sayani, for having me. I feel so blessed to connect with you in this way and to see you in this new journey that's unfolding and being more public and open and sharing all of this light. I really believe it's a blessing for the world. And thank you for inviting me.
Yay! It was divinely designed. Oh, beautifully divinely designed.
And divinely aligned.
Yeah.
Freedom. I feel like this is a really interesting question because so much in this life is not around freedom. And even things that we perceive where we may have freedom, we don't actually. It's like false freedom a lot of the time. So true freedom, I think, is a really good question. And it has several layers, but surely the first layer of this for me is the freedom of expression. It's the freedom to really speak our truth, to embody our truth, just simply in who we are in our daily life. And this is such a gift that here in our reality we really get to express ourselves authentically. And sometimes it's also not about even having the permission to express ourselves authentically in that freedom, but it's also about the inner freedom of really meeting ourselves in that way, where when we express, we feel, oh, that was really me. That's really what I'm here to express, versus the freedom of expression where it's not fully authentic and is conditioned. So I guess this word condition, it brings me to the realization that over the past 10 years, I was really on a path of removing my conditioning. And there are some conditioning that are beneficial, like brushing our teeth every day. It's pretty beneficial conditioning. Maybe we don't want to remove that one, but I really was asking Spirit, can you remove all the conditioning in my life? And then Spirit sent me to Peru and to sit with grandmother and to live in a very remote place where a lot of my conditioning dissolved. And that took me on another journey in life, and over time more and more and more conditioning is dissolving, and still there is so much conditioning being dissolved. And that's been a process this year where I really feel like I thought I had dissolved my conditioning, yet at a deeper level I feel more of that being dissolved and more of that inner freedom. And in that there's been a big part of healing, of like healing my feminine, healing the romantic wounds, the emotional wounds, and that we've acquired for our lifetimes and through our DNA and just even through collective consciousness, not just only our experiences, and how that also takes us out of our freedom because it takes us out of the ability to respond in the present moment. And how healing all of those aspects brings us into greater freedom, where we can really express ourselves authentically and not be moved by the gunas, not be moved by the emotions or the energies, but really be discerning of, is this what I'm now gonna express? And that has been my journey to freedom. And it's a ever-evolving process, as everything is, but I feel that for me freedom is the ability to choose in the present moment. It's really to be able to be present with ourselves, with our lives, and to in that present moment be able to discern and be able to choose, have the resources, knowledge, consciousness to choose from that place.
Oh, thank you. This is such a beautiful explanation of freedom, and I'm happy it's you talking about it. And I'm happy this is the first question. It's not a coincidence, because this is exactly what Sayani T and my energy or this podcast or my way of living wants to bring to the world, exactly what you say, the true freedom, meaning being connected to our essence and removing layers of limitations that our minds impose on us. And it's so many layers. It goes deeper and deeper, and suddenly we are in this state of flow where there is no mind, and that's where we are more and more living in that state of no mind, right? And that's why you said present moment is no mind state. It's I'm just being guided by this life force and letting myself being moved with that force, and I don't know what that means. I'm just being the vessel and without limits.
I like this letting go of all these preconceived ideas. So once we've let go of the preconceived ideas, we can actually experience the freedom. And I also really like what you said, that freedom is flow. I really see that. Freedom is flow and flow is freedom. So being in that flow, you're actually free flowing. You're being the leaf in the wind. You can flow, and you don't know where your destination is until you reach it, and you can just surrender in that process. So I guess one part of freedom is also surrender. Being able to surrender to the divine and trust. I think also surrender and trust are both ingrained in freedom, because to really be free, we have to trust that no matter what happens, we're guided and protected and safe and provided for, and no matter where it takes us, this is part of our journey.
And it's we have to accept that we don't know anything. And we don't know who we are, and it's we are learning in that flow. We're being shown, wow, you are that, you are this, you can do this, you can do that. It's we are just exploring our true essence on this path. So there is no end to it. It's infinite, right? And that's, I think, what makes it fun. That there is no destination. There is nowhere to go. It always just goes further, and we are here to not to get somewhere, but to really be, right? To fully be in what is here and now, and immerse in that, and yeah, and that's the freedom.
I feel how freedom is like this divine essence. Like God is free. God is freely expressing itself and exploring itself and getting to know itself and all the expressions of itself. And it's like really that energy of freedom. And there's this term, God, sovereign, free, which is like who we really are. We are all God, sovereign, and free.
Yeah.
And when we think of that, actually, oh yeah, God is sovereign and free. It's like the ultimate sovereign and free. We're all even within that a layer removed from sovereign and free. And so, but when we remember that we are that also, then we step into that divine self, which is that our divine nature, true nature, is sovereign and free.
Wow. Yes, and that's what we are being like really awakened to, like encouraged to now, right? Like feel it so strong that I have even no choice anymore just to be that true, authentic version of me. And it's sometimes so scary because it's like, oh my goodness, I've never been so authentic before. What is this going to cause in my environment? And I'm like, I don't care anymore. I don't know. And it's like, but world needs me in that essence, in that like divine essence. And my body, my mind cannot stop me anymore. And if I let that through, then even the blocks of the mind and body will dissolve. I feel that's how it goes, like allowing ourselves fully to be like as real, as authentic as we can in each moment. And then it will heal us. It will heal our human self, I feel. This flow of light that wants to come through.
Wow.
And you are that. And I think that's why we are magnetized, because we are really letting it flow through, even though it gets really like challenging at times, right? We have to again and again let the ego just die over and over, and it brings us to this also greater humility, right? Because we are just like, I am important but I am not kind of energy. Like I am both. I am very important, but also my ego is not, my mind is not. Just this pure being, pure energy.
I feel that.
Yay.
Wow.
Let's emanate this light. Let's emanate this expression. Let's be that through music, through expression, through whatever wants to be expressed at every moment. Sharing this energy of freedom through our being, just being that.
And I believe really that being in our freedom for some people also can be like they kind of shut down when they see it, but for a lot of people it also gives them the permission. It gives them the permission to be free as well, to see, oh, they're doing that, I can do that too. But like, that's the mind. But even on a subtle level, when our bodies see something, they're like, oh, I now have the spark of inspiration that this is also possible for me, because I believe in my heart that I can be free and express myself in this way. But we don't always have the opportunities. So when we see these mirrors, then we are reminded, oh, this is what universe is confirming. I am that. I am free.
And how great of an intimacy it is when people authentically express themselves. It connects us deeper to each other. And
that's why it's so related to trust. Is how can we be vulnerable if we don't trust the other person?
And we cannot trust when that person is hiding something. It immediately creates a wall between us. So this is also a way to bring us more to unity, to unite us, to just be us. And
because we resonate from that space. So when we fully express ourselves, we can resonate from that level of expression. I actually saw this many times in my life where I would, as I'm growing in myself, I would meet people that I resonate with more, because I'm in that moment able to express myself more.
Right.
And now I'm actually expressing myself more authentically, so the people that I'm resonating with are also expressing themselves in that way that's resonating with me. But if I'm holding that inside of myself, I'm not resonating with that on the outside, so what comes to me is not necessarily in that resonance. So I would over the years often see how the quality of people around me improves as I'm more expressed in myself.
Then we can meet our soul tribe, because then they see our soul, like the souls connect. The soul connects to soul, not the mind to the mind, and that's how we magnetize the right people to our lives. And
it's amazing how we're attracted to things not from our mind, and we don't know, like, oh, I want to talk to that person, and we have no idea why in the world am I now wanting to talk to that person. And then you start talking to them and you're like, oh, and this and this and this and this. You're like, wow, it's just the flow of this energy that brings you together through resonance. It's incredible.
Oh wow, I feel it in my heart, this freedom in this very moment also. Oh thank you, Tiya. Thank you, sister, for sharing from your soul, from your heart. It's such a beautiful message. I'm really happy that we could connect. And hopefully some other beautiful beings enjoy your channel, your essence, your light. And until next time.